Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Wednesday, number 23 day for this month of August 2023. My name na Capo Daniel, sense past king, una own countryman. Una welcome to our daily podcast, a program where we bring una the truth, we bring una meaningful information, fact-based analysis, for help we as we work out for this journey to our freedom, to the independence of Ambazonia. Fellow Ambazonian at home and abroad, we accept revolutionary greetings. We go start today with the news say the European Ambassador to la République du Cameroon, His Excellency Philip Van Damme, idam de leave his job for be replaced with another one. Mr. Philip Van Damme, it be a very engaging figure behind the scene for help for push for a resolution to the Ambazonian war with La République du Cameroon. It play a very positive role, even though it is not enough because the war it be ongoing. For an interview with Grantham, it talk say the military option no be the solution for the Ambazonian war with La République du Cameroon. Iran also talk say the European Union also be support the reconstruction budget where it be go on, where it be sponsored mainly by the Japanese government and some European countries where they don't do and so unilaterally. He make statement them say the European Union it be ready now for take action against the Ambazonian diaspora community where them be behind the war for Ambazonia. His Excellency Van Damme, he also called for La République, their political party, them to step up campaign towards the election where it be in view for inside La République du Cameroon. This one, it need to be an eye-opener for our people, them, for the state of our revolution. We be done inform our population the shift of demography within the international community vis-a-vis Ambazonian struggle. Now say our people, them be lazy. They hear something like they need to hear. Abidam come back since we get all this wahala the way it go for inform our people and say some bad cloud the way it don't hover, it turn over Ambazonia and we battle that cloud very viciously. The Ambazonian struggle it become been seen by most Western countries like say now we don't become the problem then. And they then become ready for even stop for pressurize La République du Cameroon and then for turn their back against we. All attempt way if it go for this direction, it then be stopped by my resignation and campaign for an alternative solution. This it then be a very big opening for save our liberation struggle. But as come say Ambazonian them, why would they so? Would they miss opportunity for miss opportunity? We need to take nothing very seriously. Big thing that happen, would they only look am like say we need to see am. Me, who I don't represent this was struggle for the highest level. I don't come back with very important information I don't tell una. Still, some people them feel say if we play blind, like picking way cover your eye, think say the whole war it don't disappear around me. Or monkey way hide the face of behind tree. Or bury head for sun. Feels that the war it don't disappear around me. No. If one of our leader them, a major player, it be sanctioned by America, we need to be careful what baskets we are keeping our eggs in. Otherwise, the whole struggle will stop, will go to complete loss. And the war they expect that they go come hell we. They go can join La République for fight we. But today as today, we there for pulpit. The job for pulpit now for pull our people them up and uplift them for better days. These warnings and many other warning signs will be ignored by our people or not taken seriously because those who are supposed to speak for them only speak out of their own interest or when it is convenient for them. For our last episode, I will share some writing where Malcolm X Ibitokam say if people they not be careful, those people the way them be oppressed, they go begin support na their oppressor them without even knowing. Now the same thing for inside our Ambazonian struggle. A struggle will be meant for fight against the regime in YAOUNDÉ when I be at the core of our plight, it then become na a struggle where most of the strategy them it actually benefit na that same regime. Most of Ambazonian hardcore militants them, they don't stand up for stand strong for support Russia, for support the Wagner group against the West. It be true, say the Western country them, where they can use Africans them for go fight for free Europe. They don't miss that part for put them for inside our history book. But since they be promised for give Africa independence over 60 years ago, this independence it will be put in place with checks, with authoritarian democracy them, where they be done make sure say make we African will not see the light of day, may will not enjoy for our resources, but for continue for the use babagwe where they call them say new colonialism for exploit our people them, using regimes like that of Paul Biya, Museveni, and many other new colonialist dictatorship them where they pretend to them being a Democrats for Africa. So we are a desperate people, we are an angry people against the West for failing to meet up with our expectation, as all we will be done turn up together with this new war order under the United Nations, knowing say the laws and for the United Nations it will bring peace for the war. It never be the same. For the last meeting where it take place for Russia, the African Summit, where Paul Biya for La République du Cameroon, the chief terrorist, he go for day with 15 delegate member, a huge delegate with almost all a cabinet for go Shidong for strengthen diplomatic tie with Russia and for build up support for get support from the Wagner PMC group where he be in attendance. After Paul Biya he leave for Russia, the defense minister Betty Asomo he stay behind for get a 4-day meeting with the Wagner chief Prigozhin for bring the Wagner inside La République du Cameroon for can fight against Ambazonia and for fight against Boko Haram. This deep relationship it go on and it show the crack between the West and La République du Cameroon, as increasingly the West they put pressure for La République du Cameroon. They use even their money where they borrow for IMF as leverage over La République du Cameroon. The French government oppose the Russian summit of African states them, where it take place for inside St. Petersburg. The last Russian meeting where it take place before this one, it be get over 40 African heads of state. But because the French government, the American, the British, they forced the African leader, they made them not participate for the last African-Russian summit. Only 15 African heads of state they be participate for the. Amongst these 15 one, the way they be reject and they be deny, they be stronghead for the Western country them. Paul Biya, he been a one of them. If we always think, say, Paul Biya na just a puppet, it be time for we to reconsider our calculus in light of recent development, because our opinion should be led or be controlled by the facts. As facts appear, we should be able to change our mind as such. Today, as we speak, Diongote, the chief for La République du Cameroon, he lapdog them. They don't be sent them for inside South Africa for Johannesburg for go attend the BRICS meeting. The BRICS now some organization where Russia it be created since 2009, where involve Brazil, Russia, China, India, and now with South Africa, where they want to build strong economic cooperation and developmental cooperation for counterbalance the effect of the United States and the Western allies them for their dominance over the war. As always, the vast majority of Ambazonians, our militants them, our activists them be behind the support for the counterbalance weight or challenge to the Western US-led blocs of the G7 primarily, or the extended G20. Malcolm X talk say, if you no be careful, the oppressed will tend to support their oppressor without knowing, because of lack of knowledge. Today, Diongote, a main objective for South Africa now for apply for membership for BRICS. La République, the one for join the BRICS movement, for be away from the influence and under the influence of the United States of America and their dollar and their Western allies and their influence within the United Nations, within the international monetary system and the global war order. All this help, it will be aligned for support La République du Cameroon for fight against Prigozhin The head for Wagner Group, he done talk for a new video where he done release where they for inside Mali for desert. He talk say the Wagner Group, he did for Africa for come fight terrorism, for fight Al-Qaeda, the ISS, and other cartels and gangs where they cause problem for certain African states where they challenge their own sovereignty. According to Prigozhin, the Western policy, it challenge African sovereignty, and then therefore can make me African country then be more sovereign and be more free. For those who did the clap for Russian President Vladimir Putin, for those who did the clap for the Prigozhin group, the Wagner PMC, if they see him tomorrow, they go see him for battlefield for Ambazonia, where the Russia, the Wagner group, then they for our head for fight, for join La Republic for fight against we. These are all the possibilities that are very likely. The Russian government Naidan become the new supplier for weapons and resupply for bullets to La Republique du Cameroon as the Western country that they deny for supply weapons them, make it not be used for fight in the Ambazonian war. It be very important make our people them for inside Ambazonia, me them know say for you for be effective for anything, for you for no be foolish, for end up go begin to support people them way now that they really fight against you. You need to know why you fight for, what way you fight for, the basis for what you are fighting for, and the implication around you with the international community, because no country, no people live as an island. Our country, Ambazonia, and anything we call them say now our right them as people for Ambazonia, now right them will be given to and it be acknowledged by for us by the international rule-based system in the United Nations that was founded, that is being supported and sustained by the Western United States and its allies. Just like for inside Ambazonian war, if we not be careful, this war we're going to fight now for inside support CPDM and La Republique for give them the victory. People today like Atanganji Paul, Ungum Benat, Ngang Dennis, Moja, Charles Moki, Mbela, people like Paul Tassang and many of them, Atanganji Paul, would have never become who they are today. These are people who could have been in the backbench. They have been the biggest benefactor of the Ambazonian war. What are the principles we are fighting for that are the basis for our independence? If you not be careful, they go manipulate you sute, you go begin the fight against the people the way they actually want free you. You go end up stand up together now with the one the way that they instead try to crucify you. Now say Malcolm X is talk, it be talk. And I hope say this podcast it will give our people them a thinking cap and encourage we for emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. Now the key for free our people, if we know the think, we know we free ourselves. No help, it no go come for this war for we for Ambazonia for can help we. If we will never wise up and will never sabi the best way for free ourselves. Nothing is free in the war. Independence, freedom come at a cost. But if we are foolish, even that our cost it go increase, and not only we it go suffer, and not only we it go loss at the end. For inside law, something the way that they talk and say ignorant, no be any excuse for break law. If you no be sabi law, even when you go do something where break law, they go catch you and you go suffer the consequences. This war as we did for inside, it get rule them, it get law, it get principle them, and it also get advantage and disadvantages. As we as a people will rise up for our freedom, may we be aware for the dynamics, the powers that be, the rules, the laws, the principle upon which we fight for our freedom, the freedom of our people. So help us God. God bless you all. Capo Daniel looking out for you, signing off.